Hello, hello. How is everyone? Hopefully good. Okay, what am I doing? Ah, yes, right. Okay. Hello? Cool. Let's do, I need to open, not print. Oh no! Get out of here. All right. I need an odd page. Or I guess I don't have to do it that way. I could go duplicate this. This is how this goes. Hi, Cal. How you doing today? How you do? Okay. Let me figure out what I'm doing. Okay. I'm actually, no joke, going to do the exact same thing as these two, which we love, but it's not going to be the same interior here. We gotta mute. No, that's not what I wanted. My bad. Mute. This. Thank you. I got a pumpkin bagel.
Would you like some coffee, love?
Some tea, please, and a glass of milk.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Milk. Exactly. Pumpkin green tea. Holidays. Halloween-y. I'm fine. Everything is chill. Halloween. I am very tired. I am sorry that you are tired. Was work cray cray? Oh, not that one. Here we go. Oh my god. You were flying at the speed of sound. Good lord. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Why? Why? Somehow this center is, like, not right, but I'm not super worried about it. Hi, Ava. I'm doing okay. Not dying anymore now that Jace is better. How are you? Jace is pretty excited because he, just recently got a transcript request from University of British Columbia, which is a good sign. Oh, we're gonna be doing another street. Let's do it again.
Yeah, see, I'll stay away from that. I don't go over there.
I don't do that. Let's see. Oh, I wish that this was from, like, a slightly different camera angle. The Senjas. Yeah, I don't imagine there would be a lot of cleaning. I feel like it would just be... You have to deal with it being dirty. That's just... As a famous songwriter once said, sometimes it pays to be an animal, sometimes it don't. And when you wake up with mud on your dick and you don't even know where it came from, sometimes it pays to be an animal, sometimes you don't. Or sometimes it don't. Oh, this is a thing now I get. Well, look at that! It's because you're here forever. That's insane. Okay, but like... I want sidewalk. But without people on it. I guess, you know what? I have the power. Hold on. As messed up as this is. Oh, this looks good, actually. I'll go with this one. I missed this one. There we go. Special chicken flavor. I'm assuming it's chicken, but with extra seasonings. If I had to guess from Indomie. If I had to guess. I've never had Indomie, so I don't know. But I hear they're really good. According to the description, rich chicken flavor with seasoning. Yeah. Yep. And spicy, apparently. So, yeah, chicken with extra season. Extra flavor. Yeah, thanks, Ava. While the stream is 18 plus, I tend to keep it relatively SFW because we do have a lot of minors in here. Hi, Chips. How you doing today? Also, too, I upload these videos to YouTube, so... Once I get monetized, I'm gonna have to be much more careful about what I say. I could have them do the most Greek thing ever, which is just walk in the middle of a fucking street. That's a real thing. Alright. Let me finish blocking this. Hydrate. Make sure you stay moist. I'm drinking some milk right now. I'm almost done with my bagel. I get an A+ for actually eating my bagel. To be fair, this is delicious. Okay. Sure. Sorry, I'm doing blocking, guys. I wish I could do this on stream, but both Twitch and YouTube would have an absolute conniption. Chrissy's releasing new music, and I am so ready. Okay, I gotta think about it's actually just a touch this direction. I gotta slowly tweak my people. It makes sense. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about the actual... Oh my god. Get out of here, Windows! Windows is like, I'm not gonna let you screenshot anything, and I'm like, I hate you.
Oh my god, Binks is just like, help me!
Well, speaking of light and cool science, I watched a video last night of a guy recording a laser at 1/1000th of a second to make a video, and it was fucking sweet. Okay, well that was annoying. Alright. Now I gotta make them real small. That's fine. They're so tiny. Okay. Oh, this is actually perfect. Let me see. I have to fuck around with this. Stretch and posture check.
He has terminal baby disease. That's so sad. That's okay. It's funny because now
Tatsu has gotten into the habit of when he's making his little nest on the couch, he gets upset if the blankies don't do what he needs them to do, and so he just screams at them. Also, you miss me. For escape. Since there's a bunch of people in here, just a reminder that my Kickstarter is still live. Sorry I have to just keep doing this until the thing is over. But this is how marketing works. I'm trying to get to my stretch goal now because the thing is 100% funded, so that means that there's literally zero risk for backing it. The money will not come out of your account until November 6th. And I have all sorts of different rewards. And it's fun. It's good times. There's Thirst Trap art. Look at it. It's great. And if we meet the stretch goal, any dollar amount I make over this point effectively pays me royalties. So while getting the comic funded pays for effectively the bare minimum, it just pays for printing the book. It doesn't actually pay me for the project at all. So if we want to pay me for doing effectively 2 years of work, I can get some sweet cash, and by that I mean like probably like at maximum like $300. Yeah, now printing costs for comics is insane. So if we want to actually make me profit and get me royalties, we got to get it to this stretch goal. So if you can back it, that would be amazing. If you want to share it with other people, that is even more helpful. But this is especially good for furries, lovers of Chinese mythology, and I guess just action comics, indie comics in general. That is the vibe. But yeah, if you share the comic and you say some nice things about it, especially because there's a link to read it actually in the Kickstarter as well. If you want to just read it and then share and say some nice things about it, that really helps me out. The comic is 100% free to read online. Me move this like this. But yeah, no, if I want to make any kind of royalties on it, that's pretty much how most Kickstarters work. Fun fact, like if you see authors with the their Kickstarter goals at like 1,000, that's literally just covering the pre-order or printing cost of books. Anything over that tends to make us money, but on average, it costs between like $1,000 to $2,500 to produce a book, give or take. Oh, we got a tarot spread. Let's go. It's been a second since I've done one of these. So then this will function a little bit more like a daily reading then, a 3-card daily. So this is just going to give you kind of an overview of your day, most likely, and what you've got going on. Oh my god, everything's so slippery. Alright, we are looking at... Whoa, a jumper. Okay, let's see. You got a lot of heavy stuff going on right now. Like a lot of heavy stuff. Whoa. Okay, so you got all reversed cards, so that just means that things are generally very, very slow right now. Or potentially really heavy in terms of, like, emotion. There's, like, a lot going on in your mind, potentially. But also, too, it may mean that you need to stop overextending the snot out of yourself and, like, focus more on you. So from, like, an internal standpoint... General advice, you got the World reversed, the Empress reversed, the Sun reversed, and the Jumper was 2 of Wands reversed. So really the main advice here for you is to stop focusing so much on other people and instead just start to like focus on yourself for a second, because you tend to overextend yourself a lot. And if you feel like you are not doing enough, don't exaggerate those fears or be reluctant to take action. You may be having issues with your internal family right now, particularly your mom. I don't know if you guys are arguing at all, but that also, this overextension feeling could have to do with either her or prominent, like, femme-presenting boss figure, somebody who has, like, some semblance of authority in your life. There may be, like, an issue with that as well. Let's see what else. It seems that also, too, with all of this, whatever goal you're setting or whatever, like, resolution you have in your mind is kind of unrealistic. So maybe taking a second to just reevaluating the situation, reevaluating what you need to make sure, one, you don't overextend yourself, but two, you're not absolutely ignoring everybody else is a good idea. So, in other words, it's a complex interpersonal situation that's going on here. And then finally, you have to just trust your own gut. That's it. So yeah, that's a lot. There's a lot of heaviness here. A lot of intensity. It just feels like the world has stopped turning. Does that make sense? That's the way that I would describe that. It feels like everything's moving in slow-mo, but not in a fun way. Like in a really annoying way. Oh, I need to make sure that there's no accidental weird tangents. There you go, better. That's a lot from 3 cards. Yeah, tarot is, you can get a lot of information out of even just 1 card.
Yeah, I legit was putting the cards back and another card legit ejected. Ejected!
Okay, let me get... Actually... Okay, let me do this and censor this so that the Bezos doesn't come for me. Jeffrey Bezos. We don't talk about it. Okay, almost there. Actually, I think we're gonna do just one. I request the Jeffrey Bozo song. Oh, I got a couple Jeffrey Bozo songs. Do you mean the Bo Burnham one? Okay, it is now in the queue. I have a really sad Jeff Bezos song. We're not going to play that one. Yeah, I've been reading tarot for over... Oh, God. Almost 2 decades at this point, actually. Sure. Oh, wait. I am a fool. Bo did not have to go this hard with this synth line. Fun fact, Jeffrey Bezos' fucking birth date makes him the same age as Rollo, by the way. Let me see when Jeffrey was born. Jeff Bezos is 4 months older than Rollo. Yeah, I mean, the screaming, it feels right. Okay, let's see. I guess I'm gonna move them further down the street. Because I don't really want to... it doesn't seem... Well... Let me see if I can get some bushes. Can I get bushes? Like, just like a wall of bushes. Can I just get... Maybe I should look up hedge. Can I get like a... But like a good hedge, not like a... Like a hedge on a sidewalk. Because this lady lives in a really fancy neighborhood. I can't. Who chased a child? Rah, first over here. Yeah, you did it. Welcome to the tube. Welcome to the tube. God, this perspective is ridiculous. I hate San Francisco. I guarantee that's where this is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, San Francisco. I hate San Fran. Oh my god. This is not helping me. I need hedges instead, actually. I take it back. Oh, yeah. Wearing in those shoes is really important. But yeah, having shoes is, yeah, shoes. That's all I gotta say. Oh my god, shoes. Okay, I do not like these, Sam I Am. Or they're not. I need horizontal. Look at this hedgehog. But don't tell anyone. There was a swimsuit butt. A European butt. This weird hedge sculpture. Too janky. Oh, this is a pretty good one. It doesn't look like Los Angeles though. It looks like New York. Oh, this is pretty good. Okay, so watch the magic. You ready for some magic? We're gonna see how bad this is. Alright, so I need to turn on this. Bye. Time to say goodbye to this man. Bye. There he goes. In Crayob. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty damn good. Wait. Why? Okay. You're going to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, see you later, bro. It was nice knowing you. Bye, bruv. Okay, so now let me go back over here. Okay, let's see. I need to look at perspective. We're looking at... that. I need to separate the heck out of these figures. Okay, almost there. Actually... I am having what I would call a time over here. Bet you didn't know that. Bet you didn't know that this software is actually kind of the devil. But you know what? By doing this, I actively am going to be making my life way easier, actually, so I shouldn't complain about it. Truly, it's actually a blessing here. It is surprisingly cold in the office. It's actually 66. It's cold as fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna make these super transparent so that way Bezos doesn't kick my ass. Alright. That's so sad. That he is full of woe. I probably need like a cardigan or something, to be honest. Oh my god, get away from me. Oh my god, Jace is the best. He overheard my freezing plea. Thank you. I was dying. Ugh, why? I forgot she looks like Elsa now. And by that I mean she has a braid. Wow. And she's wearing high-waisted jeans. I forgot. And sneakers. Whee! Whee! It's chili bumps. All I want to do is play Pokemon, guys. I don't want to do work. I don't want to grade student homework. Don't want to do it. I forgot he had a different bun. Okay, so now I have to think about how these pants work. All is good. Oh my god, it updated. Oh, I hate you, Photoshop. File, or edit, keyboard shortcuts. Every time Photoshop updates, it erases my preferences, by the way. Just, like, in case anybody doesn't know and you're using Photoshop, that's what happens to you. Which is super fucking annoying. By the way. Jolly good. Go ahead and turn that off. Oh, I can't get rid of this thing now. Bye. No! Leave and never return. Photoshop, like, I just don't know who decided that that was how that was gonna be. Like, who in the developer's room was like, yeah, so we built an entire program that functions off of users saving actions and preferences, but every time the software updates, because now it's connected to the internet, because we decided that we were going to have a Creative Cloud subscription-based service, every single time it updates, we're going to delete the user's preferences. Sound good? And everyone in the room was like, yeah, that sounds fine.
Some tea.
My tea. Thank you. I'll swap you for this empty cup. Thanks. I appreciate
It's fresh
it.
and hot.
It smells real good. It's a black tea and it's got chocolate in it. Probably. I don't know. Jace handed me a mystery tea. If I had to guess, it's either the Irish Stout or the Darius tea. It's one or the other. Oh, it's the April in Paris then probably, because I always do this to myself. Yep. This particular black that they use in the April in Paris is just really nutty. I do sell teas on Etsy. That is a true, real thing. That is a real statement, a real factoid. That's a rock fact. It's about the Over the Garden Wall year or time of year. I just binged the entire fucking thing again. Because I can't be stopped. It's my once a year Halloweeny time ritual that I have to complete. I don't like any of that shit. Nope, it's time to feed the Snorlax. It's time. If you haven't had anything to eat or had a snack, eat the snack. Okay, sorry, I had a million emails. I'm gonna feed my Snorlax, though. She looks so angry, but to be fair, he's touching her. So, they're not there yet. They're not there in their relationship yet. Yeah, all my teas are themed after the main characters of my books. Nah, it is true. They've been on strike for a second now. It's okay, our government doesn't work, so... Yeah, and unfortunately, too, the Kickstarter I'm not shipping outside of the US because our president is fucking stupid and imposed a bunch of tariffs which makes shipping to other people insanely expensive. So, I'm keeping everything US-based for now. But things hopefully will be better soon. But if you live in the US, everything is normal for the most part. For a while, I couldn't get my teas, actually, because the tins themselves were produced in China. And so, with the 150 fucking % tariff that he put on everything... This is how I get put on a watch list. Actually, I'm already on a watch list. I have a passport. I don't care anymore. C'est la vie. Thus is the life of a transgender American. Okay, well, let's see what Snorlax he gets to consume today. It's apple pie. Oh, no, it's Appy Juice. Plot twist, he's drinking Appy Juice. Okay, I gotta zoom in, because otherwise Jeff Bezos is gonna kill me. Make way to Yarly. Hooray. Okay, all of my Pokemans have contributed to the feeding of the Snorlax, and he has had his juice. Pocket. Oh wait, I'm full of lies. She's like, don't touch my cape, peasant. I'm so mad that I'm never going to be able to find that video ever again. That video is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my whole life. Ah, rip to McDoon. That's okay. If he doesn't have, like, at least 4 bullet holes in him, it's not real. There's a reason he is the way that he is. Oh, that reminds me. I need to actually... Hold on. I'm going to do that while I'm thinking about it. Never be good enough. Never be good enough. All I gotta do is put that there. Cool. I will slowly, eventually, get this down, but for now, I got about 20 books that I need to write, so it's 20 more years of my life plotted out. Actually, plot twist. Joke's on you, hands. Oh my god. Help. There we go. I did not like the thumb and the finger, so I moved them, so now they don't look stupid. Oh, but I have to be careful to not accidentally make sausage fingers. That's okay. This perspective is weird. That works. Yeah, better. Hand. I'm excited for the bow one for the Kickstarter. If you want a tin of that, Cal, let me know, and I'll save one for you until the post lets up. I'll just order an extra one for you. But let me know. They're the same price. It would be the same price as all of my other tea tins. And I'll just order an extra one if you want to try the watermelon one. But, otherwise, yeah, unfortunately, Canada is not in the cards right now. And also, too, for whatever reason, shipping to Canada is like $20 fucking, even when it's, like, normally functioning. And I'm like, why is that? Like, all you have to do is drive north of New York. You know what I mean? Like, there's not really, like, anything crazy going on. I don't know. I don't claim to understand how postage works. It's just, like, insane to me that it, like, ticks up that bad. Because, like, U.S. standard shipping for something like that is, like, $5. And it's like, I get it. You gotta pay your employees and stuff, but also, too, where is that money going? And, like, why is it so much? And I'm wondering if it's just in tariffs and then fucking the U.S. is just, like, fucking Scrooge McDucking in all their tariff money. In which case, that makes me upsetty spaghetti. In which case, I will murder. Yeah, I literally have no idea. You know what? I bet you Google has the answer for us. What's the answer to that? Let me save this. I want to know. Why is shipping to Canada from the US so expensive? Ah, it's because nobody lives in Canada. And also customs. Those are the two major reasons, apparently. Canada's protectionism dictates that imports are extremely heavily controlled and highly taxed. So there you go. Also, too, there's about 2 people that live in Canada. That's the other reason. Unless you live in, like, Vancouver. Or Toronto. Because, like, I can understand if you're delivering to a place, like, somewhere in Saskatchewan, it's gonna be, like, crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, it makes sense for, like, only certain areas, though, I agree. It's, like, Alberta and Saskatchewan being the problem children there. But, like, everywhere else, it's, like, there's a normal population density, you know what I mean? So I'm, like, I don't know. Like, the same population density as, like, Kansas, you know what I mean? Like, here in the U.S., nobody fucking lives in Kansas. But Canadian protectionism does make sense. Like, and especially after the shit that Donald pulled, I can understand why they're like, yeah, we literally don't want anybody fucking around with our stuff. Because, frankly, it was really fucking rude what he did. Really, really rude. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Go out west for a job. That's what happens to, I think, like, Colorado, question mark. That's what they do for us in New Mexico, for context. That's wild that you get ads to go visit Alberta. Yeah, we get ads to go visit New Mexico. They're like, go visit the land of enchantment. Or occasionally Wyoming. And I'm like, guys, I don't know how to tell you. Wyoming's boring as fuck. It's like, I hate to be this guy, but the reason nobody's visiting is because nothing's fucking there. What? Ah, that's why. Yeah, I can definitely set aside a bow tea for you. That's no problem at all. I was going to order an extra for myself, too. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to get more people to back this now that it is already backed. I feel like people saw that it reached the milestone and then everybody just gave up. And I'm like, no, please, I really would like to get to that, like, 1,500 mark, and I don't know if I'm going to make it there. Because the problem with baking my royalties into the actual Kickstarter itself is that the price of the Kickstarter, or like the threshold of the Kickstarter, gets so high that I know that I won't be able to back it or be able to meet the threshold. So, like, for example, if my Kickstarter had been at 1,500 to begin with, I probably wouldn't have made it. So I effectively have to, like, weigh the return of, like, okay, well, either one, you could actually get the thing funded, or you could pay yourself. And there's like, no, you can't do both. And also, comics are hard to try and get people to back them, especially if the comic is already free to begin with. People see the price of the comic at like $25 per issue, and they're like, holy shit, that's really expensive for only like 100 pages, but they don't understand that like color printing is fucking expensive as shit. Running Kickstarters is hard. Is he saying anything in this panel, or no? I don't think so. No, he's not. She's just slapping the shit out of him. He's just upset. He's like, oh my god, my arm. But yeah, not to seem like I'm complaining or anything. I'm very grateful that like we were able to make it to the funding goal. I have to try and strategize and be really smart about all of this because I have to be able to prove to other people who are going to be publishing through my publishing company that I can actually like get backers onto their projects. And if they see that it's like, oh, well, you only got like 20 backers on your project, then it's like that's not necessarily anything exceptional. So I'm kind of nervous about that too. Don't forget to hydrate. I just drank a sip of tea. I am always, if there's a cup of tea near me, I am always hydrated. Whoa! Oh my god, Photoshop, why? Photoshop was like, see you later. Also, you want to tell me, okay, speaking of fucking technology doing weird shit, this has nothing to do with Photoshop, really. But can you explain to me why fucking Wacom tablets are so unnecessarily expensive? Like, I had to make a demo for my students, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go look up prices of other tablets because a lot of students avoid getting a tablet for the entire class. No, like, yeah, they're literally the Apple of fucking drawing tablets, and I don't really like XP Pen that much because their pressure sensitivity isn't high enough for my liking for, like, in terms of technicality. But Huion, their tablets are literally like $100 cheaper than the same model of Wacom with twice the amount of pressure sensitivity. Nah, they're fine. Huion's fine. And to be fair, Wacom's prices they haven't really gone up. So they're still about $200 to $300 for an Intuos, which was what I paid in 2012. You know, so like I wouldn't say that the prices went up. It's just, I think, asinine to me that a Chinese company is making a product that is just as good, if not in this case better, for $110 for the same size of tablet instead of $279 USD. So Wacom, in other words, is literally highway robbery. They're just being jerks just to be jerks. Being weenies just to be weenies. Yeah, I was like, students, please just go buy a Huion. Like, don't worry about it. The school's gonna recommend Wacom to you, and I'm gonna tell you that that's stupid. Yeah, an XP Pen, not to say that it's bad. On average... Oh, okay, well, the standard for most current models is 8,000. So that's actually pretty good. Yeah, see, and Wacom is also at 8,000. So I'm like, if you're not offering me any more for cheaper... Like, why the fuck would I care? Now, granted, I'm probably working at like a 2,000. Maybe it's time for me to upgrade my tablet just to see if I want it. I might be working at about 2,000 to 4,000 pressure sensitivity on mine, but like it starts to become not noticeable for most people. You just don't really feel it past 4,000. But that being said, the fact that it's just like they're charging that much for the same as both other brands is just insane to me. That's so dumb. Yeah, my Wacom is a decade old. I bought this thing in over a decade, actually. I bought this thing in 2012 when I went to go to work or to do school at RimCAD, and it still hasn't broken, which is cool and everything. But also, if this thing ever dies, then it's like, okay, at this point, fuck Wacom. And I'm gonna go buy my Chinese tablet, and they can suck my toes. Hello? Like, that's just so much money for no reason! Like, it's just so sad. And then the school tries to dupe students into buying a $300 fucking tablet. It's just boo-nanas to me. Yeah, see, and I'm a weirdo, and I just, like, I don't like the screen tablets at all. I'm working with, like, a desktop or a lap tablet, like, and I've done that, I think, really my whole life. So I don't plan on ever switching to a screen tablet. I don't like them. Because I have so much going on my monitors that, like, having to look down at the tablet and then look back up at the monitor for other stuff is just, like, it slows down my process too bad. They're a lot better now than they were when I was in school, because, like, if you can imagine when I was first going to school, the Wacoms, the Cintiqs were, like, you had, like, a half an inch of fucking plastic in between you and the actual monitor, and it was like the disconnect was insane. It was like you were hovering above your work and not actually drawing on a screen, which was annoying as fuck. Anytime I had to do those classes, I wanted to cry. I would just bring my fucking tablet in and literally plug the tablet into the Cintiq. And my teacher was like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. Actually." And then my paintings turned out better, and it's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And we have a Cintiq sitting in here in this room right now. I just refuse to use it. It's not even mine. I don't got time for that. You are totally fine to share any and all pictures of cats always. That is a thing that you can do. I don't think I'm going to get done with this page today. I wish I was that cat. I wish I was him. I would like to sit in a blankie. Hold on, I gotta do something before I fucking forget. Oh, never mind. I'm full of lies. Never mind. I have to try and figure out a special to try and get people to back the Kickstarter at the cons that I'm going to, and I'm not sure what a good deal is. I may do it if like people back the like 35 and up tier, they just get a free book. A free paperback, I should say. Which means I have to make new signage for my table, which is fine. I'm glad I have a couple of cons going on during this Kickstarter. That's actually like super convenient. I just cracked my back so violently, I don't even know what's going on. I just felt my entire life realign just then. Like, sweet lord. No me gusta esto. I'm going to move this down because I did not like this. Don't be shrimping. Don't do it. Unless you are actually a shrimp, in which case that's different, but... Okay, now I gotta go do the most annoying thing ever, which is trace around the edge of this. This is gonna make sense, I promise. It doesn't surprise me that we had radioactive Walmart shrimp, but it still makes me sad. I just wish to enjoy my shrimp in peace, you know? I want to just eat a shrimp, you know? I want to be a shrimp. I feel like they have unburdened lives. Especially if they're farm-raised shrimp. They don't have to fucking worry about anything other than dying. They live, they die. What a time. Alright, so now... that. No thoughts, just shrimp. Lizard. Yeah. I don't know if that's what that is, but... Yeah, I don't know where that originally came from. It was like a TikTok audio. It was like an animated lizard. It's from the Hoppers trailer. Pixar. That's what I thought. I was like, it looks like... His name is Tom. Just in case anybody wanted to know the lizard's name. I did not see Elio. I did not have any desire to see a soulless film. I feel bad. I wish that all of the films with diverse characters that Disney and Pixar made didn't end up just ass, and I'm so sick of that shit. You're like, I was picking up popcorn. Lizard. Okay, that's all that matters. Probably you saw the best part of the film. I hate to be that guy. Yeah, I just heard there was absolutely zero depth in it. It was like watching Styrofoam. Oh, I forgot that there was... One, I forgot there was a new Tron. Two, I feel bad. I wish they would just let that franchise die. I loved the original Tron, and Tron Legacy actually wasn't bad. I don't think. But I don't know why they decided to make a new Tron. Considering it seems weirdly untimely. Yeah, see, and it's weird, because I have a bizarre opinion of Jared Leto. I don't even mind Jared Leto. I just think he keeps getting handed bad scripts. Because contrary to popular opinion, I recognize... This is a kind of a hot take, but I actually think that his performance as the Joker was good. I don't think that it was what people wanted cinematically. I think that the Dude Bros... who wanted another Heath Ledger were very upset, but I think from a creative standpoint, I think that he was fine. I think the art direction for the film was a little weird, and not Suicide Squad, but he was fine. If we, look at him just by himself. But if he's given a trash script, there's not really much that he can do. And I think that that's what keeps happening with Disney. Even George Lucas recently was like, they just keep sterilizing everything that they make. And I'm like, ooh, that's rough. It's rough when George Lucas is like, yikes. Yeah, it's like his agent hates him. Yeah, right? Well, and you gotta, take the work that you get And like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to take that money. You know, like Tron money is not a lot of like that's not so little money to shake a fist at. Like that's a lot of money. I too would be like, fine, fuck it, put me in the suit, put me in the blue screen. Oh, see, so now that changes things. I'll wait until we get back from ads. That changes things. And that is unforgivable. That's a whole thing. This is in the wrong spot. Okay. Okay, if everybody's back from ads, see now that changes things. That changes things. That means that fucking Jared Leto had a bad artistic vision, which can happen. You know, and like some people aren't cut out to be producers or directors. So, but here's the deal. It's kind of interesting. So, this is the question. So, being a producer does not mean that you have artistic direction over the film. Being the producer means that you are the wallet that is funding the film. And ultimately, yes, decisions do have to pass you, but Disney is more, I guess you're beholden to Disney still. So like all in all, unfortunately, it seems like Jared Leto has been used as a wallet and produced a garbage film because of it, and now it's going to be on his like record for forever, and he's never going to be able to get it off. Yeah, ultimately, unfortunately, because Tron is a Disney product, they have to do whatever Bob Iger says they have to do. So if he says produce a Tron film because now is the time, that's what they do. Although it might have been a Bob Chapek decision because of the timing of it. I think that we're still in the transitionary period where that was being produced under Bob Chapek. Let's see. Seeing, I don't know any of these producers. We got Justin Springer, Jeffrey Silver, Sean Bailey, Steven Lisberger, and Emma Ludbrooke. Oh, see, and one of the producers is the guys that produced Tron Legacy, actually. And the original Tron. Actually, one of the producers on the film is the guy that produced the original Tron, directed the original Tron. Writing and directing. So they did have the original writer and the original director there. So in other words, they literally were milking Jared Leto as a wallet. Which is wild. Sometimes it just ain't right, and I think that that's what Disney needs to learn, is that, like, unfortunately, just because you can remake the film doesn't mean, or like add another like installment into the franchise doesn't mean you should. And ultimately, too, I think they misunderstand what the ultimate goal of like continuing a franchise is, because ultimately you have to ask yourself the question, what new thing can I inject into this franchise to make it refreshing or to make it cool? Like, what am I doing here that's new and innovative? And no offense to the guy that wrote the original Tron, because it's deeply rooted in male geek culture of the 80s. But maybe, just maybe, people don't want to see another white dude fucking hacking into a machine to fight a virus for the third time in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we know Jared Leto can play good characters. Like, and I know that there's a lot of, like, a lack of consensus among trans people whether or not non-trans people should play trans characters, but Jared Leto won an Oscar for playing a trans woman. And, like, that's nothing to shake a fist at. And I think he did a fucking good job, personally. I really loved him in Dallas Buyers Club. I think he did a fantastic fucking job. So, that being said, we know he's a good fucking actor. I think he's just, if he's given a bad script, like, God, there's just literally nothing that you can do. And he was seduced. He was seduced by the Disney money. And now here we are with another white boy hacks the system movie. You gotta watch out. We've got to watch out. The white boys. The white boys are coming. I don't even know what the fucking plot of Tron Ares is. I don't even. I deleted that one off my radar. Truly. Interesting. I wonder, let's see, Tron, Ares, AI. Oh no, the plot is about AI. Yeah, the plot is about AI. Which is, again, that's not unusual, because the plot of the original Tron was also about an AI. Because the Master Controller, the main villain in the 1982 Tron, is an AI. That's the definition of an artificial intelligence, is a program that can run on its own. So it's a first encounter movie. They did not use generative AI in the film at all. Because they wanted to prove a point that you can make a movie about AI not using AI. So that's cool. At least they didn't use generative AI, which is fine. But yeah, it seems like, unfortunately, that runs into the same issue for me, where it's like, okay, so it's effectively the same plot as the first movie, where you have a rampaging, out-of-control AI that's trying to do something malicious, which is just the original Tron. It's like, if I'm gonna go and watch Tron, then I'll just go watch the OG Tron. Like, why would I want to watch this new Tron if you're not saying anything new or meaningful about what's going on? Like, I don't... What are you doing? You gotta have the goods, the good zhuzh. You gotta have the good desire. The good zest. The zest for life. They don't have it. I don't think Disney has it, and they will never have it again. I'm pretty sure we're watching the crumbling of an empire here. It is the slow collapse of the Disney animated empire here. I'm actually going to move this down. And then this too by proxy. The only movie that I'm actually looking forward to this entire season is Wicked 2. Yeah, to be honest, in my opinion, independent studios are the answer. Glitch Studios in particular is my current favorite rising star. And also, too, I will say DreamWorks is holding it up. I do love them. I will vouch for DreamWorks. As like a major like old world studio or old guard studio, I should say. They're fine. Mm-hmm. They're not doing anything weird. Most major studios use, like, I would call them sister studios to produce their work. So, for example, for Disney, you have multiple branches inside Disney. So you have Disney, the animated film branch. Then you have inside the television animated branch. You have the television live action branch, like the Disney Channel branch. You have the franchising branch. You have the product design branch. You have the Disney Imagineers branch. You have the Disney Parks branch. So, like, they also are doing the same thing. DreamWorks is a conglomerate, so much like any other major studio. So that means, in other words, that they have other smaller studios that are doing their work. So that's not unusual, and really has been that way since, like, the early 2000s. That's not necessarily something new. And as other studios collapse too, they end up becoming, like, absorbed into other studios. So that way animators can keep their jobs, really. Although it's not necessarily helping with the, like, over fucking 4,000 now unemployed animators in the US. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, because DreamWorks is made up of, let's see. DreamWorks owns... Oh, no, actually, no, they don't outsource, actually. They're owned by Universal Pictures, but DreamWorks Animation is its own thing, actually. They don't do anything else. It's still the same company that Katzenberg opened, actually. Yeah, so actually, that's kind of a surprise. Yeah, Disney's so big, they need, like, fucking a million different things going on all at once in order to survive. And then that's not to mention, of course, too, like, or exclude the fucking Marvel properties, the George Lucas properties as well. Those are all different studios. They're live action properties, which is what Tron is technically. It's, like, fucking crazy. Nah, because they just produced, Oh, yeah, no, you're right, though. Yeah, with production shifting to more outside studios in 2024. So that's not necessarily... Yeah, that's not necessarily that crazy. So what they're doing is that they're co-animating with other studios, such as Sony Pictures Imageworks. And so effectively what they're doing, which is not necessarily... again, super new. I applied for a job that I did not get at a Vietnamese studio that effectively contracts out animators, because currently the way that the animation industry works, which is really, really bad for everybody, is that effectively if you get a job, say at, like, Disney, and you're going to animate their movie, whatever that is, let's assume that it's like you're working on fucking Frozen 3, for example. When you get a job there, you're signed onto a contract that says as long as Frozen 3 is in production, you are working on Frozen 3 and only Frozen 3. You're not hired on at the studio permanently. You're not given another job. You are only working on this film. And then once Frozen 3 is out of production, or you are done with the animation portion of it, and say it just goes to principal or it goes to rendering, you get fucking fired. That's just what happens. You get let go. And then you're probably on unemployment, or it, like, most likely, because most studios do not provide unemployment because you're a contract-based worker, you have no health insurance and no income. And this is where a lot of animators scream and then go and do like what I'm doing, which is working for a school to try and pay for your money in between those contracts. What's happening now is that there are more and more studios that are popping up that are effectively these conglomerates that are, like what you're saying, they're outsourced, right? So I could go work for a specific company that provides animation services to large studios. But the difference is that you are working for multiple studios at the same time, or one right after the other. So if I go and work for Virtuos, which is the company that I applied for, they then will say, okay, well, right now we have multiple clients. We have DreamWorks, we have Sony, we have Disney, and we have, like, let's assume Nickelodeon. It's like a TV project instead. We are going to contract you out to one company right after the other. So when you get done with one job, you will come back to the studio and you won't get let go. You'll know that you have another job right after that. And video game studios are doing the same thing now too, because it's too expensive for them to continue to hire on and rehire. Animators, riggers, modelers, texture artists, SFX artists, it doesn't matter really what you do or who you are. It's much cheaper for them to go to these other companies that are retaining their employees instead of terminating their contract. So when you're looking at a studio like DreamWorks, they have now expanded beyond the in-house capacity that they have, and now are so large that they need to do like what Disney is doing, except it seems like they're not assholes and they're just instead reaching out to other studios and asking for other animators to help produce the films rather than get contract workers to do that. But yeah, the animation industry is brutal, which is why there are 4,000 currently unemployed animators or people in the animation industry right now, because literally you get dropped off of projects, or like, I mean, in the game industry too. I think about my husband's uncle, so I guess my uncle-in-law, he has been with Bethesda, with ZeniMax Online Studios, or ZeniMax Studios in general, for over 15 years. And he was going to be working on the next Bethesda project, and then they canceled the project, and so then after 15 years of working for them, he just got fired. And there was like no like, uh-oh, well, we actually really like you, we're going to shift you over to other projects, or, oh, we're sorry that happened, we didn't expect the project to get canceled, let's move you over to this other thing. It was just, nope, you're done. And it's really terrible. So definitely studios outsourcing stuff is not nearly as bad and nor as scary as like the news will make it seem. I would much rather do that than work for like Disney or something, like where you can just get let go. Disney's like, bye, bitch. I hate you and your work. And it's like, oh my God. I have not seen any previews for that. Oh, it's a basketball movie? Beautiful stylized characters. I'm not a huge fan of sports movies, so I probably won't see that unless it gets like the most stellar reviews ever, but it's got great lighting keys. Stephen Curry's a good producer, though. Yeah, and Sony, to be quite honest, Sony is definitely nothing to shake a fist at. After K-pop Demon Hunters, obviously, they're very quickly rising in the ranks, at least in my opinion, They are the replacement, I believe, to Disney. If we're talking like major studios, they have a much better understanding of how to produce good shit. And also, too, they're more, willing to let their animators experiment and produce things that don't look, I don't know. Like Disney's, maybe what I'm going for is that Disney's house style is so intense that it is causing them to produce shit that does not look good. Like, you're always going to end up with weird, bug-eyed Disney princesses, and they're all going to look freaky. And that ain't good. Not good at all. Versus, like, Into the Spider-Verse is stylized completely different from K-pop Demon Hunters, which is stylized completely different from GOAT, you know? So it's like, whoever is art directing it actually has the ability to do just that, art direct. And you don't have to be so beholden to a house style. Which is also where I think Illumination is strong, too. Although they are leaning more and more into a house style, I think. Because did DreamWorks do Captain Underpants as well? Yes, they did. Yeah, see, and so DreamWorks is even less scared. They are more interested in sticking true to the source material of what they're adapting than worrying about house style, which I think is really important. Because Captain Underpants looks absolutely nothing like Bad Guys, so that's also really important. Yeah. All in all, Disney week. Disney. That's all I gotta say is just Disney. I would never, ever, ever, ever want to work there. They would have to pay me the most money in the fucking world. Yeah, more like, Disney, get your own health insurance, because we're not giving it to you. Fucking terrible. I'm excited to see what kind of opportunities I get when I move to Vancouver, because their studio scene is better than ours here in the US, truly. That's where all the jobs are at. Oh my god. My hands are broken. He's fine. He's like, bibbity boopy, I'm just trying to be a nice man. You're just being an asshole. Just trying to make sure you're fine. I'm not that much of a dick. Yeah, it's honestly the main reason why I'm more interested in watching international films, to be honest. Or indie films. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not trying to fill some weird, like, agenda. They're just, like, doing what they need to do. Making art. Yeah, Flow is great. Beautiful movie. Gorgeous, gorgeous movie. And now, granted, Pixar's thinking about doing some interesting shit. Like, they're producing a film that's made 100% of paintings. soon. I don't remember what that thing is called. What is it called? Pixar. It's also about a cat. Gato is the name of the film. But it's made very traditionally. This is their first 2D animated film. And it's going to be made out of 100% hand-drawn paintings. Set in Italy. Beautiful shit. Beautiful, beautiful work. You know, so it's like, maybe if you guys got your head out of your ass and actually just, like, made art. That's like, it's almost like they forgot the point. Unfortunately. And the point is to make something that has meaning, not to make something that has box office value. And they're, like, really bad at that now. Make something because it means something to you, not because you're trying to collect money. Do it because you can. Well, they have to. It's not even that they think that they gotta make the remakes. It's actually, from a fiscal standpoint, much more serious than that. Like, I'm not even joking. So Disney, I always love going into this because people seem surprised. But Disney has gone bankrupt 3 times, or almost gone bankrupt 3 times. The first was in the 50s. The second was in the 90s. And then the third time was in the early 2000s. And effectively, they, in order to save themselves, had to do something that they viewed as new and innovative, and unfortunately the last bout, what saved them in the early 2000s was live action films. And now because of that, that's effectively their only safe space, which is also why they've bought up Marvel and Lucasfilm and other franchises to try and keep themselves afloat. Because the way that the industry used to work, and like, I think actually Laika is a really good example of what to do in this particular situation. But Laika, by releasing Paranorman again with a new short film, was very smart. It gets people back into the seats, and they want to see the film again in theaters because it has, like, a new short film along with it. So it's like really cool. So that's super useful. But that's what Disney used to do, is that they used to release the films, re-release films back into theaters, because we didn't have things like Netflix or like DVDs to be able to allow people to rewatch movies over and over and over. And so it was a privilege to be able to go and watch films again in the theaters, because otherwise you might not ever get to see it again. It had almost the same exclusivity as like a Broadway show. You know, it was like you have to go and see Pinocchio, for example, in theaters. Otherwise, you're going to miss it. And you'll never be able to see it again. And you didn't know. You didn't know if that was how that was going to go. So there was a reason for people to want to go back in and effectively rewatch those movies. But now we don't have that, and so Disney had to figure out a better strategy other than re-releasing movies in theaters. And by ceaselessly remaking their movies, that was their strategy. And it's a really shitty one. It's so bad. So bad. Yeah, because without it, I'm not even joking. Without Marvel and without Star Wars and without their remakes, they would be bankrupt. The studio would no longer exist. Okay, hold on. I gotta get rid of this fucking thing. I'll figure that out later. Okay, let me go ahead and turn these off. Let's see if I can get through this. I'm not going to be able to get through this in the rest of stream, I don't think, unfortunately. I don't know, anything can happen actually right now. I shouldn't doubt myself. Mayoko. Yeah, and it's a shame because that like nostalgia trap really is what I would like to call it, is like I think also very indicative of American culture too, where we're not very excited about creating new things right now. Like I just saw an ad for a camera, which I think is a very cool thing. It's not that the product is bad, but the camera itself is a handheld camcorder, like what we were using in the late 80s and early 2000s, or early 90s, sorry, when I was a kid. And no joke, this thing films to make it look like Super 8 film. And what that's indicative of to me is that people are really desperate for times in their mind where they think that things were better. And in their brain, it was like, well, when I was a kid, things were so much better. They were not as stressful. They were not as bad, you know, so I wish I could go back to that time. And Disney's like, oh, but you can. And then they waggle the live action remake in front of your face. And they're like, remember how good Lilo and Stitch was? And in your mind, you're like, well, I just want to go watch the regular Lilo and Stitch. But then they're like, well, but don't you want to watch the new thing? It'll scratch that itch, but also it's new. It's new, but it's old. It's exciting. Don't you want to do both? And then, you know, your brain is like, sure, I fucking love Lilo and Stitch. And then you just walk away disappointed, but you still spent money. And so they get you in this honey trap of nostalgia that I think it's one, really predatory, actually. I think it's very shitty from like a marketing perspective. But a lot of people, particularly like Disney adults, are very intense about that shit. So, effectively, if you can get the Disney adults to show up, anybody will show up, kind of, unfortunately, is the vibe there. Which is a bummer. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's definitely probably a trend, I would imagine, among Disney adults that are like, you know, it's a trend of depression, And anxious attachment, if I had to guess. Because they're desperate for comfort, you know, and like you can't fault somebody for that, but then also, again, Disney is like the company is predatory then for preying on people who are weak, you know. It's like, cool, you guys could be making new stuff and establishing new memories, but you would rather prey on people that you know you can get easily, which is really unfortunate. Really shitty. But I also too think that the like dip in literacy may also be part of the issue as well. Actually, because most of the time, like you can get a bunch of great new fantasy content, for example, from books, because there are so many books. Like there are millions of books produced every single year. Which would be a great place for people to fall in love with new stories and become excited about like magic and reading and all of that other good shit again. And effectively, what we've got are people who can't read here in the U.S. and so we don't really have people exploring new content. They're gonna just reach for the same thing again because it's familiar. Thank God we're getting a Reading Rainbow reboot. And the guy that's doing it is, like, the best. He looks like the nicest man on the whole planet. He's got mad reading, or Mr. Rogers vibes. Yeah, it's only going to be on YouTube, unfortunately. Well, it's not a bad thing necessarily, because actually that can be more accessible to kids. But yeah, people, unfortunately, they just don't read. And that can be really scary. It almost feels like Disney is participating in their own content farming, if that makes sense. Like, already content farms are like brain rot ass content to begin with, and then you have a company on a massive scale content farming its own shit, which is really awful. And then they're weirdly content farming for multiple millions of dollars, like sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Fucking weirdos. You could just hire some guy to dress up in like a $1 Pomni costume on the internet. And they could content farm for you. You fools. You absolute cowards. If I can get through the line art, actually, I'm going to be pretty happy. I wish that I worked faster, but I don't. I am not speed. I am only average speed. He's so angry. This is like the Wreck-It Ralph. He's like, I tried to be nice. Stop mimicking me. I wish I could be one with the speed. That would be amazing. I do not have that skill. A tarot reading for a single card. Look at that. Let's go. If you have a question in mind, think about that. If not, otherwise, it'll just be kind of a base daily reading. Or a general vibe reading, as you could say. You do not have to let me know what your question is, and it's often better if you don't. You got the Hierophant inverted. So all in all, it seems like, again, more heavy stuff than usual. But it seems more so you've been really bogged down by routine. So don't be afraid to just like take breaks and stuff, and also be maybe more flexible would be the word that I would use. So trying new things, new routine. And just remember that, like, the end goal is always more, like, important than, like, how you do it, if that makes sense. But you have a lot of loose ends going on right now, so if you got, like, a bunch of overwhelming little things that you have, like, you've been putting off, you should probably just do them. Look at this Angie man. He's so Angie. To be fair, Sean was kind of mean. I do not want to do any work today. I have to do a lot of grading. I'm like trying to pretend that I don't have that going on. Maybe if I just like close my eyes, all of it will just kind of go away, you know what I'm saying? It'll just kind of go whoa, 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 and then just like, it'll just kind of go away. Yep, I got my eyes closed. Just, yeah, Sorry, bro, I got shit to do, and that shit is dissociating. Dissociating hardcore. I think on the next page, Sean and Wukong jump into a bush, so that's exciting. That's what we get to work on tomorrow. Bushes. They gotta go do spy shit. They got shit to take care of. Don't you ever just love jumping into a bush and spying on cops? Okay, and then unfortunately, because of the nature of this hand, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep going until I finish this line art today, and then that means tomorrow I start with filling in flats, and then dialogue, and then I move on to the next panel as quickly as humanly possible, or the next page. I don't expect that this will make my process like any super faster. Like, I'm sure I'll still experience some like delays for hiatus and stuff, but at the very minimum, it's not going to take me until I'm 120 years old to finish the comic. I'll be 45 instead, and that's just the way that that goes. Jesus. Just about 40,000 million years old, no big deal. These damn pants are just like so big. And that is just the way that it goes. That is the whole point of them. They're just fucking enormous. Okay. Oh, Wukong. I actually almost have as many subs over on Webtoons now that I do on Tapas, which is crazy, by the way. So thanks to everybody who has subscribed at this point on either platform. Pretty fucking nuts. Oh, that's not right. Man, I wish I knew how to type words in English. Actually, this is still too short. I'm just gonna go off the screen. That's okay. Yeah, no biggie there. Boop. Meep. He looks like he got spit on. Like, legit, he looks so mad. He looks like somebody just fucking spit in his ice cream cone. Yeah, my main problem with this was that, like, the actual book itself, I wanted to really include everything I possibly could, but it became very obvious that, unfortunately, with the length of the original novel, it would just be too many chapters for me to adapt in a reasonable amount of time, and a lot of the chapters are just kind of like filler in the original novel, because they're very like Monster of the Week style like chapters, which is fine, but like for the sake of this comic and its pacing, if I wanted to get it done at any reasonable time, there was no way that I'd be able to do it. So, therefore, we had to shorten it way the fuck down. And now here we are. Yeah, I had to change my art style a lot too. This is definitely not my like traditional style at all. If I tried to do this, like I'm constantly impressed with like Tracy Butler and her work on Lackadaisy, because I'm like, how the fuck did you create fully rendered, beautiful, softly shaded comics in that period of time, and you didn't like go absolutely fucking insane doing so? Like, how is that possible? Okay, well, I didn't get the whole page done, but I thankfully only have 3 panels to do tomorrow, and I'll hopefully be able to just like keep flying through the next page, which is 4 panels again still. And it's mostly medium shots, so it'll be fine. Yeah, so this is pretty good. This is fine. Coolio. Well, I'm going to go. I'll be back tomorrow for more comics. I got to go do regular people job stuff, but thank you so much for hanging out and being amazing. And then, of course, just to reiterate everything that I said on stream, even though I know it's annoying as fuck, I have exactly 2 weeks now left of my Kickstarter. So if you can share this with 3 to 5 people and say, hey, you should go back this thing, my like lowest tier is $10. So people are willing to spend $10 to be cool and get some digital art. and some Discord stickers and stuff, I would be so thrilled. So yeah, share it around if you can. I'll drop this link again here in case you need it. But that is so helpful. And I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.